Out of the Blue, proudly brought to you by San Remo. Another surprise!
Out of the blue,
You want that with fries?
out of the blue. Come with me across the sea. On another view, we're gonna cook for you.
Nothing but blue skies!
Out of the blue.
Today, Out of the Blue comes from arguably one of Australia's finest, or even the world's finest beaches, and it's only a stone's throw from the city of Adelaide. It's called Maslins Beach.
We cook up fish sliders with all the trimmings, a yummy prawn, garlic butter and bacon linguine.
So come on, let's go. I'm here today, and I must say a beautiful day, with long-term Maslins Beach resident Evelyn Roth. Evelyn, surely this is one of the more perfect days down here at Maslins Beach.
It is absolutely beautiful. It's a beautiful place. It's historic. It's intimate and very unique.
Okay, when did you first fall in love with Maslins Beach?
Well, I came down here in 1979 and I was invited to do an exhibition in the Adelaide Festival Centre. At that point I was collecting television tape and crocheting it into car cozies and spaces. And then later reading a little bit about the history and archaeology here. I read Tim Flannery's book, Future Eaters, and on there somewhere in page 32 he talks how old and ancient Maslin Beach is, and actually within its cliffs is a petrified holly leaves that you don't have in this country. It's in here.
Most people in South Australia would know Maslins as the unclad beach area where a lot of people go. But in front of us is an equally beautiful beach, which is the sort of northern end of Maslins.
Yes. Everybody here has a dog, one or two. So the northern end is a leash-free dog beach. So most people here now really find it a family beach.
Evelyn, how did Maslins Beach get its name?
Well, I suppose it was a Mr. Maslins who came in early 1830s and did settle here. It was mixed farming, and his family, and they were quite involved with Aldinga and etc. So that the name was given to about the family, referring to family.
Yes, because Adelaide people and South Australian people came to the beach, I suppose, 100 years ago, didn't they?
100 years ago, horse and wagon. And there is fishing, often, still.
I'm getting excited.
You know.
Any Tommy Ruffs or mullet? Be some mullet, I reckon.
I see 2 here, 3 there for regularly.
When did it become an unclad beach?
It came in Unclad Beach in 1975, in the era of Dunstad, when it was innovative, and I guess there were people who came down to this beach, and you don't drive by it. It's sort of out of sight and safe,
And I think it was the first one in Australia.
And it is the first one in Australia.
Amazing.
G'day, Michael.
How you going?
I'm going well, you?
Welcome to Maslins Beach.
Got your clothes on.
Now, we're after a few little mullets or tommies, or what do you reckon?
Mullets and Tommy salmon trout.
Salmon trout?
Yeah, that's this part of the world.
Okay.
That's what you get.
All right. So, you better take us through it. You've got a pretty nifty looking rod there.
Well, that's a rod holder.
Yes.
That's what basically most people use off the beach.
Okay.
And when you're fishing, you put your rod in it. But also, when you're fishing, if you're baiting up or you've caught a fish, you don't lay your rod down in the sand, and you get all the sand in the reel and your gear.
Beautiful looking rod. Now, what sort of bait?
Now,
you got all the gear.
Generally speaking, Michael, the prime bait there for off the beach is what they call a bungum worm. Now, those worms are all along this south coast. Now, the way that they catch those is they pull a stocking or an onion bag with some smelly fish in it.
Yeah.
And you go up onto the edge of the surf there, and you just wave that,
What, any time of the day or what?
Well, generally going down to low tide.
Low tide, right?
And you'll get that odour which will run down, and with the receding water,
Yes.
when they stick their head out of the sand, in your pocket, you've got either a piece of squid, something that's tough, get down on your knees and they'll grab that.
They don't bite.
They do bite, but they'll bite that squid and not your finger, hopefully.
Oh, is that the worms?
These are the worms, like so, you can see. And you break those, and on your hook, you can go in a couple of times like so, and you basically work them up the shank of the hook. And the beauty about these worms is that, you know, you can catch 2 or 3 fish on them without them getting them off the hook.
Now, Keith, that went out a fair way.
Oh, we're only on the edge of the trough.
Yeah.
That's where the fish are.
Right.
There's a bit of weed out there today, so I mean, it's quite difficult. But when the water's nice and clear, you can, if there's any current or any rip, you can just actually walk down with it.
He's hoping.
So I think we might have a bit of weed on there.
Okay.
You can see the weed up the line.
Yeah,
the conditions are fairly
weed.
adverse, and it's hard to find the fish when that weed is so prevalent. But as we see, that's a grape weed. You can see the little grapes on them.
Yes.
Now, out on those outer reefs and so forth, the whiting, the King George whiting, they love those.
If I haven't caught any fish, I've learned a lot from you.
Yeah, well, there's always the fish and chip shop.
There's always, and there's a good one in Port Malunga.
Yes.
It's just down the road. Yeah. Now, Michael, I've been with Keith Goody just down on the beach here, and I think I've failed again. We tried to catch these beautiful little Tommy Ruffs, but there was a lot of weed. But look at these. You came to the rescue again. I mean,
Mickey,
seriously.
you asked me to make you something different.
Yeah, what?
How about sliders?
What are sliders?
It's a mini burger.
They're trendy at the moment, aren't they?
And what a great way to introduce the subject of fish to children.
So what, little roll like that.
It's a brioche roll, and
Yes.
the difference is it's slightly sweeter.
Oh, it's
and
a
you
French
love
number.
kids. So there you are, Mickey.
Oui. Well, to go with that, of course, I made a wonderful pickle.
Ooh.
Now, what I used in it, I scraped out a cucumber, got rid of the seeds, sliced that up. I sliced up, see these little French breakfast
Yes, you know there's one missing.
radishes? Did you eat it?
I had to try it.
I then cut a red onion. Red onion's just superb.
It's perfect for that,
Sliced it up very, very fine. And look, I used the Tahitian lime. Now that's that one there. So I've squeezed
Yes.
the lime onto the radish, onto the onion, onto the cucumber, and now about an hour it's pickled. Well, I've done my bit. Now see you later.
All right. Well, what I'm going to do, flour, egg and breadcrumbs.
Look at that.
See,
And
I'm just holding on there
you
because...
haven't used panko crumbs there, have you?
No, but you can use panko.
You could, yep.
I love panko crumbs.
Aren't they beautiful?
Mickey, there's a little secret with crumbing. What you can do to set your crumbs is coat your fish like this, put them on a tray, and put them in your fridge or in the freezer. Let your crumbs set,
Yes.
and then you can use them as well too.
Oh, beautiful.
Oh, Mickey, they're all. I
look at
reckon we better do at least 4 fillets because we've got a slight lean here, haven't we?
Oh, look at the sizzle. Oh. Well, I'm going to do my mayo that's not really a mayo, but it's made with a bit of nice Greek yogurt and some coriander. Now, the lime juice, I'm going to use the Tahitian lime juice, and I'm going to just use the zest of this kaffir lime. So you don't need a lot. Can you see the oils coming out of it?
Oh,
As and there it is, just mix that up.
Mickey, the fish is cooked. Your dressing is cooked. We're going to clean the pan and we're going to toast our buns, and there we have it. Okay, going to put a bit of mayo.
A bit of mayo.
Oh, the avocado.
Yes, yeah, I'm just going to get that.
Avocado, piece of fish,
Oh,
and
Michael. Yes,
your
I know.
special pickles. It doesn't look fantastic with that. You know what's good? If you've got a party, let the kids make up all their own. Have all the ingredients.
Top on.
There's your slider.
This is a Tommy Ruff slider.
Tommy Ruff slider. Are we happy?
Michael.
Are we happy? I know. I think he's happy. Fish sliders with all the trimmings.
Now, with all this talk about fishing, we visit the Maritime Museum to find out how it all began here in SA.
Michael has gone down to the port to visit the Maritime Museum.
Hey Lyndall, we've been on this terrific journey looking at all the fishing spots up and down our coastline, and you can just sense it's reeked with history. So tell us about the history of fishing here in South Australia.
Well, basically, we've relied on what we get from the sea to feed the colony, and before the colony, the Aboriginal people that have always lived here. So they ate shellfish, they caught a lot of fish, they made fish traps, that sort of thing. We have the explorers coming, so Nicholas Baudin and Matthew Flinders in 1802. Now, they're collecting fish for their specimens because they've got these great natural history collections they're going to take back to France and England. But for every fish or animal they take from the sea, they see what it tastes like as well. There's great stories about them actually catching dolphins, and there's fights between the naturalists, the the crew who want to eat it, and the artists on board who want to paint the specimen. And then you've got sealers and whalers coming very soon after, 1803. And they're catching fish, they're catching whales. 1836, the South Australian Company's first business, and they're the first lot of settlers that come out, 9 ships, is whaling. So that is the first industry here. And then you've got the 1870s, you've got the Italians coming in. A lot of them settled in Port Pirie. There was a fishing fleet here, a lot of Italians here. And then the Greeks coming a little bit later, and big Greek population near Ceduna too, so Thevenard.
Well, our very own Michael Angelakis, that's where he was born there.
Yes, yeah.
Now, Lyndall, what have you got here? This looks absolutely fascinating.
Well, I've got to put my gloves on, but I can tell you a little bit about these items. So I found this the other day, and it was listed, the donor said this is the smallest tackle box in the world. So it's a hand line.
Yes, I can see
with
that.
4 different lines on
Different grades of line.
it. Yeah. And then it's got this nifty little hidden
look at that.
compartment.
There's a little
Yes,
float.
yes, and they're
And
all
a sinker.
handmade. A sinker, 2 little floats, 3 little floats actually.
That's a real working one, isn't it? It's not
Yeah.
a kid's
No,
sort of
no.
toy one.
It's fantastic.
So what else have you got?
You've got your sort of handmade
look at
again.
that.
It's like the guys who made their own tools,
Wow.
like boat building tools. They
Yes.
would have built their own or made their own
Got a
fishing
little,
reels.
Yeah, that's incredible, isn't it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, so beautiful stuff. And on display, we've got rods upstairs, the bamboo rods, we've got tackle boxes.
So, Linda, where do you see the fishing industry in South Australia today?
Oh, well, I hope it continues to thrive. I mean, I do think we're really lucky. Every time my mum comes over from Canberra, she goes straight to the fish shop to buy fish, which she says is the best in Australia. There's some exciting things happening in Port Adelaide too. They're talking about bringing back the fish market closer into the port, which would be fabulous.
Hey, look, that is just a sample of what you can see down here at the Maritime Museum. Lyndall, thank you for showing me around, and also these wonderful treasures here that you've got, and many more.
Yes,
stashed away. You'll have to bring them all out.
Yeah, so we can show you our homemade yabby nets and all the rest of it.
Thank you very much
Cheers.
indeed.
In our next recipe, we'll be using king prawns. These are wild-caught South Australian king prawns. So firstly, we'll start off with these beautiful prawns. And here they are. This is how you buy them. So twist the head like that. Pull the body away. And then start from underneath, shelling, breaking the shell, twisting it. And there you are. Now, people get paranoid about the vein. So the vein, I'll just show you. This is the vein. Don't get confused. There's very little vein at all. So the vein is broken there. It's there, it's just that bit. And also the vein is here as well too, as you can see it. So there you are, a cooked prawn. Another way of doing it is also, again, peeling it, breaking the head, twisting it to get maximum meat out of the head of the prawn, breaking. I like leaving the tail on because you can pick it up like that, eat it, and also looks fantastic and it's decorative on a plate. It's best to do it on a board, but I'll just show you is get a very sharp knife and just cut along there, open it up, and you can actually see the vein and there's the vein. And you haven't wasted any of that prawn at all. So the difference, there's the vein, give it a little flick, hope there's a seagull. See how much meat has come off that? And there's the meat. So there's the difference between using a sharp knife to take out the intestinal tract or the poo tube. Now, green prawns, uncooked green prawns. Now, there's options on how to make prawn cutlets. The first one is to get a prawn, very sharp knife, cut about halfway into the prawn. You stop where the last tail shell segment is, open it up. See, there's the intestinal tract. Just pull it away, and what you do is just flatten it a bit. And with this, all you do is get some crispy pancetta or bacon, fill up the cavity of it, put it flat like that in a baking dish under a griller. There's one option. The second one is pull off the head again, and sometimes if you're lucky you can get the look. There's the intestinal tract. Now we're going to make a prawn cutlet, and I like to butterfly them about halfway down. It makes a beautiful prawn cutlet. It's great for all dishes. So there you are, that's how you prepare an uncooked prawn for prawn cutlet, for stir fry, and that's what we're going to use in this pasta dish. And there's your cooked prawns, just yummy to eat them like that.
Recently we put a shout out on Facebook to our viewers to send in their favourite pic or video of our beautiful South Australian coastline. Well, we've been overwhelmed, and here are just a few. So keep them coming, folks.
Mickey, you've been wanting to come down to Maslins for quite some time.
Mark, as a matter of fact, I have. And I always thought what we could do is come down to Maslins on a really lovely sunny day, take the clobber off, put the aprons on, wouldn't offend anyone.
No, a la natural.
But let me tell you, today is
It's not the days.
And we decided
Against
not to do it.
And we don't want to lose you as current customers, potential customers,
I know.
and future customers.
Because I was talking 20 years ago, you know.
Well, it's
but anyway.
we were a lot different then too.
Now, we're going to do a fantastic
we are-
recipe. You've prepared the prawns beautifully.
Thank you for
And
that.
also, the thing I've noticed, Mike, and I could watch you do this for hours, you've taught us how to save valuable prawn meat, because it's not cheap, is it? I mean, you've got to be honest.
You're paying 35, 40 bucks for a kilo of prawns.
That's 10,000 rupees.
Yes.
Depends where you are.
Exactly.
Black Mars,
Now,
it's expensive.
This dish,
Yes.
linguine, you've made garlic butter.
I have.
You've got some
Beautiful
lemon
there.
in
Look at
juice in that. So we're going to do the bacon first.
You
With
leave
that
that
lovely.
chilli, and I'll leave the
I'm going to
chilli.
leave the chili. I got that for you.
And of course, we're using the wonderful Sanremo linguine,
Yes.
which I love. It is just superb.
Out of Durham wheat from your peninsula.
Which
Thank you.
is just over there.
It's not far
at all.
away.
When are you ready for the butter?
I think so. Look at that. I think
What
we're
I
getting
did-
that nice bit of
I
colour.
did this off camera. I cut the garlic up, beautiful fresh garlic. It's just coming onto our local market. Cut it up with the best butter you can buy, good Australian butter. And there it is there. Look at that. It's
Okay.
just so good. Now, be prepared for the wonderful aroma.
How much garlic did you put?
I did. Look, I put only 3 cloves. Just 3 cloves. There we are. Now, Michael, that's going really well.
Yep.
I did put a little bit of lemon in the butter and garlic mix, but just perhaps another
A little bit more won't hurt.
squeeze more. There you are. Okay.
See, look at that. And it's a bit like wine. It deglazes, doesn't it?
It does.
All the prawns in?
Wonderful prawns.
Aren't
Oh,
they
look at
beautiful
that.
king prawns?
Hey, aren't we blessed here in South
certainly are.
Australia? Seriously.
There's a bit of wind, Mickey, so I'm just going to put the lid
Pardon
back
me.
on. Just about half cook the prawns. So that won't take long. And you remember how I butterflied them
Yes,
to
I
open
did.
it half?
Yes.
That helps them cook a lot quicker, and they're not as tough. Because if you didn't do that and you bite a prawn just shelled as they are, uncut, it's chewy.
Sure.
Mickey, look. They need another few more minutes, and that should also warm through our pastas, which has been partially cooked.
It's Guzahanda.
Yes, all right, and I'll keep working it as you're tossing it in, because I want to get all that,
Yep.
all those juices. Look at that.
This is pre-cooked, of course. you
Yes, absolutely.
know. Okay.
Mickey,
Yep.
put the rest of the pasta in.
I've just got one more little ingredient to
Where
put in
did you
there. A little bit
find-
of chilli.
Where did you
And
find
also,
the fire? Yeah, how about the basil?
I'm gonna
That-
tear-
you get carried away.
yeah, the basil. Look at the colours
Yeah,
though.
just
Look
put the
at,
tender
look at the
basil
colours
on.
we've got now.
And I would also don't forget the parsley.
Italian flat leaf parsley, easy to grow in your garden. And there we are. Mark,
the
we
lid
have
on.
it. It is done.
And,
Dusted.
and the next time you'll see it, we'll be on a
Plate!
plate. Prawns, garlic butter, and bacon linguine.
Hope you've enjoyed the second episode of our fishing voyage. Make sure you join us next week when we visit Pine Point. Don't forget to visit outofthebluetv.com.au for more recipes. And, of course, like us on Facebook. See you next time.
Out of the Blue, proudly brought to you by San Remo.